Hamas-Israel war has occurred for half a month, while the war between Russia and Ukraine in the north poses a large-scale regional threat. Currently, a large number of Russian and Hamas drones have been found on both battlefields, used to attack and even attack civilian facilities, committing war crimes. The investigation found that China manufactured these drones. Before this, the US and Europe stated that if state agencies are found to be involved in aid to Russia, they will be sanctioned. On October 16th, Russian Finance Minister Anton Silvanov stated at a meeting of the State Duma Committee on Budget and Taxes, "Basically all our drones come from the People's Republic of China. We are also very grateful to our partners for that. But we need to develop our own resource base, and the necessary funds have been allocated." The world was in an uproar at this statement. The United Nations Security Council, international conventions, and the International Committee of the Red Cross will not tolerate violations of international law during war, including violations of relevant rules of international humanitarian and human rights law. In the decision of the Security Council on February 12, 1999, the presidential statement clearly emphasized the importance of protecting civilians, especially children, in armed conflicts, and it was not allowed to target civilians, especially women and children and other vulnerable persons. Groups harmed by attacks also include refugees and internally displaced persons. The International Committee of the Red Cross also has regulations: no attacks on civilians. The impact of war on women, children, and other civilians must be limited as much as possible, and detainees must be treated humanely without torture. The International Criminal Court in The Hague charged Putin with illegal deportation of Ukrainian children and was impeached. Now, the Chinese Communist Party has provided a large number of drones to Russia and Hamas for use to harm civilians, which is equivalent to an accomplice. China supplies drones to Russia and Hamas. U.S. intelligence agencies stated as early as July that China was exporting dual-use technology with potential military applications to Russia, including drones. This is the first time a senior Russian official publicly acknowledged this fact. When the Hamas-Israel conflict breaks out, Russia is obviously bolder and does not want to cover it up. The Israeli media Globes revealed that Hamas uses cheap drones to destroy Israeli surveillance equipment and attack troops deployed on the Gaza border. These drones are made in China and cost only a few thousand shekels each. 1 shekel is about 0.25. The report pointed out that when Hamas launched an attack on Israel, some commercial drones carried out filming missions and threw grenades and bombs at outposts and along the Gaza border, causing some of the Israeli Defense Forces' surveillance systems to be paralyzed. As early as May this year, 3 commercial drones entered Israeli airspace, including a Chinese-made DJI drone from Lebanon that circled over an Israel Defense Forces base. Yair Ansbacher, an Israeli defense and security consultant who specializes in analyzing war zones, said that the drone market is mostly controlled by China, and the Chinese company DJI alone has a 70% market share. Defense sources have also warned that the next threat will be drone swarms, some of which will operate autonomously and launch attacks from multiple locations. So, Russia has just disclosed that China provided drones to the powerful parties that launched the wars. Did Russia inform China about this? Is it intentional, or was it accidentally revealed? What is its purpose? China's response: no matter what, it will bring embarrassment and pressure to Xi Jinping, because he may attend the APEC meeting in San Francisco, USA next month. If Europe and the US mention this matter, how will he respond? Of course, China may help set up 3 responses. One is playing the fool, second is like, I am a gangster, who am I afraid of? What can you do? The last one can be exchanging benefits. And there is another possibility, which is what the Chinese government was doing 2 months ago. China publicly announced restrictions on exporting remote civilian drones because it was worried about being implicated. However, the fact is that Chinese-made facilities are still frequenting the battlefield. Separately, according to Yonhap News Agency, the South Korean Ministry of National Defense confirmed to the media on October 16th the information disclosed by the U.S. about the North Korea-Russia arms transaction and stated that North Korea was found to have shipped more than 1,000 containers to Russia, with a load equivalent to hundreds of thousands of artillery shells. South Korea's Ministry of Unification also stated that although the Pyongyang authorities continue denying arms transactions with Russia, the actual situation is gradually being exposed. It not only provides weapons to Russia, but also to Hamas. According to Yonhap News Agency, a senior official from the South Korean contracting staff headquarters told the media on October 17th that the weapons recently used by armed groups under Hamas may be actively supporting Hamas's armed forces. The weapon is speculated to be a 192mm multiple rocket launcher made in North Korea. The anonymous official also mentioned that the F-7 rocket-propelled grenade previously reported to be used by Hamas is the name used by North Korea to export RPG-7. In addition to weapons, officials noted that Hamas has many similarities with North Korea's tactics, including early morning raids on holidays, the use of massive artillery attacks to breach Iron Dome defenses, and the use of drones to disrupt surveillance, communication, and control systems, etc., are all consistent with the strategies that the South Korean military predicts North Korea may adopt, and believes that North Korea may provide strategic or training support to Hamas. This shows evidence that China, Russia, and North Korea form a new axis of evil that is gradually being revealed. Under this situation, how China will respond, whether it decides to cover up, be tough, or accommodate in response to the leakage behind Russia's actions, remains to be seen during the APEC meeting next month.
Foxconn's China hubs targeted in tax probes. Chinese authorities are investigating mainland bases of Taiwanese contract manufacturer Han Hai Precision Industry, known as Foxconn, on tax and other compliance grounds. The Communist Party-affiliated Global Times reported on October 22 that Chinese authorities have conducted tax audits on key enterprises of Foxconn in Guangdong and Jiangsu provinces, and that the Ministry of Natural Resources has investigated land use at such bases in Henan and Hubei provinces. The company said on October 22, "Legal compliance everywhere we operate around the world is a fundamental principle of Han Hai Technology Group, Foxconn." It added, "We will actively cooperate with the relevant units on the related work and operations." The specific Foxconn base in Guangdong province subject to the tax audit has not been disclosed, but the company has a hub in the province that oversees factories in mainland China and handles ER&D and production of certain products. Although the Henan base also has not been identified, the province is the site of Foxconn's main production hub for the Apple iPhone. Production bases in Jiangsu and Hubei provinces assemble personal computers and other products. As the U.S. looks to involve Taiwanese companies in a push to isolate China in the technology sector, some see the move by the Chinese authorities as part of efforts to sway Taiwan's presidential election in January 2024. Taiwanese Vice President William Lai, the candidate of the ruling Democratic Progressive Party, leads various opinion polls. He is seen continuing on the course set by President Tsai Ing-wen, who has taken a firm stance against China's threats. The latest investigations targeting Foxconn, a marquee Taiwanese company operating in China, may be aimed at promoting a change in policy. They also come less than 3 months before Taiwan votes in presidential and parliamentary elections. According to Reuters, Foxconn's billionaire founder Terry Gou, who no longer has a role in the company's day-to-day operations and stepped down as company chief in 2019, is running as an independent candidate, though he is at the bottom of polls. He has accused Taiwan's ruling Democratic Progressive Party of taking the island to the brink of war with China by its hostile policies, and that only he, with his extensive business and personal contacts in China and the United States, can maintain peace. After a report that the company is the subject of tax audits and land use probes in China, shares in Taiwan's Foxconn, a major supplier of Apple's iPhones, dropped as much as 3% on October 23.
Don't forget to comment in the section below to share your opinions on today's topic with us. Make sure to like and subscribe to see more interesting topics from Understand China, and thank you for tuning in.